Hey puzzle besties, welcome back to my channel, Javi's Puzzle Odyssey. Today I am going to be finally speed puzzling, and it's been a minute since I did some speed puzzling. Last weekend I did practice with a Educa puzzle, and I don't know if it was because of the piece cut or the image itself. It was like, you know, hand-drawn artwork. I did horrible. So I'm going to just be doing a Ravensburger puzzle today because I just kind of want to do something familiar, at least piece cut wise. And if you've never done an Educa puzzle, the pieces are 2 ins, 2 out, which you kind of think might be a little bit easier, but ends up not being easier. But anyways, I pulled out 3 puzzles today, and currently today, as I am filming this, the U.S. Jigsaw Nationals is happening. I believe it's in Washington, D.C., or in Washington, I forget. But obviously I'm not there. I definitely do not feel prepared as I have not been training. So maybe next year. But I did pull a puzzle out from last year's 2024 USA Jigsaw Nationals, and it is the Fiesta Time by Luna Marina. And you guys know I do like speed running the busy image because I feel like there's always something to find versus having just one giant section of one color. So hopefully I can get this at the 2-hour marker under. The goal, as always, is to get it at 1 hour and 30 minutes. I have not gotten there on the first try yet, so eventually I'm hoping that I can get it at that time on my first try. So do I think today is going to be the day? Absolutely freaking not, because I have not been speed puzzling. I have been doing other puzzles and having fun. And I do like speed puzzling. I do think it's fun. It's just time consuming. It's the only complaint I have about it, because I'm not fast to knock them out in 1 hour and 30 minutes yet, that it's time consuming. So I'm sitting in one spot for 2 hours at a time, and even longer, like last weekend took me 3 hours. So, but I think I'll do okay with this one. I did pull one more out. This one is called Lydille Scandinave, and it's a Huber Images. I'm not sure if I said that right, but I'll drop the text there. And this one looks a little bit challenging because, you know, there's flowers, there's water, there's mountains that kind of look the same across the board. But I feel like there's some distinct sections, so I'm hoping I can get this one under 2 hours as well. Let's see. And then I pulled one out that I'm debating about, and I might put it back and trade it for something else. I have a lot of 500-piece Ravensburger puzzles that I might swap this one out for. Now, this image is the Lighthouse at sunset. There's no artist on it. It just says MGL Imaging or mgllicensing.com. So, not sure who the artist is, but it is a beautiful image. It's like a lighthouse. And I don't know. I keep going back and forth about this one because it has a nice gradient sky, but it is one of those like painting images that I just do really bad with speed puzzling versus like a photography image or just like computerized image. I forget how you say it, but something not painted. All right, guys, we're going to get into these puzzles, and I will do a time lapse. I am planning to enter my scores on myspeedpuzzling.com to see how I rank with others, even though I'm usually always at the bottom. But it's okay. You guys are going to get to see these beautiful images get put together, get built, and at the same time, you get to see how I'm doing with speed puzzling. and see how much slower I probably got since I haven't been speed puzzling. But it's okay. Alright guys, I'll see you at the end. Alright guys, I am going to start off with the Fiesta time. And I'm drinking some coffee just to see if that kind of helps me get through the puzzle. So, we shall see. Alright guys, I wanted to give you a quick heads up on the strategy I took for this puzzle. I took a different strategy. I'm now picking up my pieces with both hands, my edge pieces with both hands as I'm flipping and sorting. I was able to get that flip done in less than 5 minutes. I think it was like 4 minutes, and got all the edges pushed to the side. Now for this puzzle, I decided not to start with the edges. I kind of just wanted to see what happens if I started with just some of the items in the picture. So I started off with the papaya, and then I started to pull out some of the like blue pieces from the plate and just some of the veggies. And I think that strategy helped out for this puzzle because I feel like the edges were a little bit more complicated than any other puzzle I've done. So I kind of just saved the edges for last for this time around. And I kind of wanted to test and see how it would do without doing the edges, because typically I always do the edges. And I noticed that a lot of times when I do the edges, I end up spending at least 15 to 20 minutes just trying to get the edge together. And I feel like that can waste a lot of time. So I did find that strategy to be good with this puzzle, and I was able to put together some of the dishes and the vegetables and the fruit in this picture, and it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it, and I highly recommend this puzzle for speed practice. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do this puzzle a few more times for practice just to get more comfortable. And again, it's a busy image and I like it, and I definitely would speed run this again. And here I'm at 56 minutes, hitting the hour mark, and I started to put the frame together and start putting sections together. So I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed this image. So if you're thinking about getting this puzzle, I would highly recommend it. And you know, it is a puzzle from last year's Jigsaw National Championship. Alright guys, I just wanted to give you a quick update, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this time lapse. I am not mad at it, guys. This puzzle was an easy start, but it got difficult towards the end. But I'm not mad at this. 2 hours, 6 minutes, 49 seconds. That's not bad at all, honestly, for this puzzle and for me being rusty. So I'm actually excited and happy about the score, but I'll give you guys a close-up. I'm going to enter my score, my speedpuzzling.com, and then I'll give you guys an update. Alright guys, I entered my time on my speedpuzzling.com, and it says I ranked 100 of 102. And when I'm looking at the results, I'm like third to last, of course, but I'm glad I'm not last, which is nothing wrong with that, but I'm happy. The two people after me ranked. It's weird because on the results page it says there's 98 results and I'm 96. So I got 2 hours 6 minutes 49 seconds. The person after me got 2 hours 21 minutes 40 seconds, and then the last person got 3 hours 7 minutes 54 seconds. And I'm not mad at my score, and I feel like, you know, the image was busy, but I do good with busy images, I think. However, I took a different approach this time. As you can see in the time lapse, I took all the edges out as always, but I didn't start with the edges this time. I wanted to try something else. I started with the papaya and then all the other things. So I think it helped a little bit, I guess. I would like to try it again, but I think it's time to move on to the next puzzle, which I think is going to be more challenging. And I think I'm going to do this one. So I will see you guys at the end. Alright guys, it is day 2 and I did decide to go with this puzzle. And I don't know what to say. It's a photography image. I'm thinking it's not going to be too bad because there's a bunch of different textures to go by. So I'm not 100% sure. It's going to be a little challenging. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but again, never know. But today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to try to get the borders done first, and then just see what jumps at me first and start puzzling. Maybe the grass and then the barn. I don't know. But it's a beautiful image. I am going to drink some coffee. It is now about 4:40 p.m. It is Monday. I skipped the day. I didn't puzzle on Sunday. So I feel energetic enough to do the puzzle. I was completely exhausted yesterday and I just didn't have it in me and I didn't want to try. So I will see what comes about. Alright guys, and for this puzzle, I decided to do the same thing with picking up the edge pieces, collecting them in both hands while flipping the pieces and putting them to the side. For this puzzle, I decided to go ahead and start with the edges because the edges were very distinct from top to bottom. I did struggle a little bit with like the side and the bottom of the image when it came to the edges, but it came along pretty well. I started putting together the barn. I feel like the barn was very distinct with like its texture on the top and the water and the mountains. I actually found this puzzle to be a little bit easier than the other puzzle because I do enjoy sky and gradient in sky, and although the sky is very blue across with a little bit of white, I think it was still manageable for sure. And sorry the clock got pushed out the frame at this point, but at the end you guys will see how much time I spent with this puzzle. I did have a clip that was recorded afterwards, but for some reason the audio, I think my mic died and the audio didn't record, so at the end you'll see my results with how I ranked on my speedpuzzling.com. But guys, this image is so beautiful, and this is like something that I love. I love scenic images that just look peaceful, and even though I was speed puzzling, the image was so peaceful. I really enjoyed this image a lot. It's a very, very beautiful image. And again, I do recommend this type of image for speed puzzling as well, or casual puzzling, as it is just such a beautiful scene. I was so tempted to like glue this one together and frame it somewhere, maybe in the hallway or in my bedroom, just because of how peaceful and serene it looks when it's all put together. But I just wanted to tell you guys about my process, and I really enjoyed this one. So I hope you guys enjoyed the time lapse for the rest of this puzzle. All right, guys, it is day 3, the final day of speed puzzling. Please excuse my phone. I forgot to put it on vibrate. And we'll go ahead and do that real quick, so we have no more distractions. Okay, now I really want to get under 2 hours for this last puzzle, and I feel like, I had the 2 days of speed running, so I should be able to get this next one. I'm really starting to notice that consistency is very important when it comes to speed puzzle training, and I've not been consistent. So I really need to like figure out what it is. But also I feel like it's just like a skill set too with training combined to get like really good, right? But obviously like practice is what's gonna really get you to be faster. So I have a bunch of puzzles, and I wanted to go with this one. But I feel like this is just, I should really just go with it, right? Because you shouldn't be like picking them out, but I'm not in a competition. I can pick out my puzzle. But I wanted to show you guys like my wall of 500-piece Ravensburger. And like, I did some of these already. Like I could have did this one, but I don't know. This cute glow in the dark one. Definitely not this one. I did this one casually and I struggled. I have like this birdie one. I was thinking about this one. Guys, I don't know. I need to come to a conclusion because I want to get a good time for this one. And honestly, I don't feel like spending another 2 hours of speed puzzling. But I need to pick something out, so let me think about this. All right, I made my decision, and I'm actually going to just stick with this one. I was looking at the other puzzles, and just, to me, they all just seem complicated. Like none of them, like there's that one image there that seems super easy. Like if it was a postcard, no doubt in my mind, I would get it. At least at 1 hour 45 minutes, but I don't have any more postcards open. So There goes my cat. I don't know if you was able to hear that, but he just sounded so cute. But I think I'm gonna just go for it. I think I'm gonna just go for it. Just let's see. Let's see what happens, right? I'm gonna focus. I had a cup of coffee. I'm a little tired. I just finished my shift from work. So I'm a little tired, but I think I can get through it. I'm gonna aim for 2 hours and under. The first one was 2 hours, 7 minutes. Second one was 2 hours, 6 minutes. So I want to get this one at least at 2 hour mark. So, and the one thing I can say, there's a nice gradient to this puzzle and there's like good separation. So you have like the gradient sky, the lighthouse, and I feel like the mountain's going to be very difficult. So I don't know. If I pass 2 hours and 6 minutes, which was my lowest score out of the two I just did, I'm going to just stop there and I don't know. Or maybe I'll just try to keep going and see what I can do. I mean, it's part of practice, but I get exhausted quick. So I'm going to put my all into it, guys. So let's see. Let's see if I can get it. All right. Pray for me, guys. Fingers crossed. And on to the final puzzle. Guys, I was so nervous about putting this puzzle together, and I wish they had an artist name. It just says the artist or the artwork is an MGL license. MGL licensing image, and it's absolutely gorgeous. You guys know I love sky, and the colors on this sky is beautiful. Now, it took me about 15 minutes to get most of the edges done. And again, I took the same strategy with the edges as I did with the first two puzzles. However, I did try to start with the edges because the colors were so distinct that I figured I'd be able to get the edges done. Now, I did get a little nervous with all the sky because this puzzle has, majority of the puzzle is sky. And I absolutely was nervous, but as you can see, getting close to like 40 minutes in, I have at least, I'm about 30 minutes in, I have at least majority of the sky started. The sky was honestly the easiest part. Putting the sky together was amazing, and I really, really, really enjoyed the gradient in the sky and all the colors. And I couldn't have asked for a more beautiful sky. Now, when I hit the hour mark on this puzzle, I was feeling really confident about the image and how quick I was getting it done. And as you can see, like even right now at just 52 minutes, I have at least 40% of the puzzle done. I was feeling really good about it. Now, it wasn't until I had to get to the rocks and the like mountain area and like the house. The lighthouse was okay. The colors on the pieces were hard to pick out and pull out, but the sky was just perfect. I'm an hour in and I feel like I have at least 60% of this puzzle done. And I honestly was really confident, and I was like, okay, I might just be getting this puzzle done quicker than 2 hours, but I fooled myself when it came to the rocks and the mountain and everything else. The grass, the colors were so alike, and the pieces are very hard to see. And you guys know I use artificial lighting when puzzling, and I was standing the whole time, but it was so hard to like find the details, and looking at the image did not help me when it came to this part, because when you're looking at the image, you can't stop for too long to look at it, so you're kind of like glancing at the image, but it honestly did not help. And would I recommend this for speed puzzling? Yes, because you have to do complicated images at the end of the day. However, just know that it's artwork that's like hand-drawn artwork. I mean, it might be some computerized imaging on it, but majority of it looks like a painting, and it was very challenging. But I hope you guys enjoyed this time lapse, and I will see you at the end. 2 hours, 14 minutes, 21 seconds. That final stretch killed me. Like, I'm just trying to put the light on. Whew. Hi, Appa. He was napping the whole time. And he looks like he wants to bite me. That final stretch killed me. Like, I was doing so good when I realized I was about an hour in and I had so much done. That gradient sky, the ocean got done at like an hour and 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, I was getting hyped. Like, I might be getting somewhere this time. Like, I might get this under 2 hours. Whew. When it came to this part right here, y'all, I swear I wanted to freaking cry. Like this part right here. Let me look at this box. Who's the artist? Because I got to have a conversation with him. Okay. They didn't put the artist name on here because they knew I was going to have a problem. I'm just kidding. The artwork is beautiful. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful. This is the type of artwork I actually like. So, it reminds me kind of a Dominic Davison. I'm not sure. I have to look this image up. It just says MGL licensing. So, beautiful though. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. They killed it with this image. But, this freaking area, guys. And I was trying to, like, the whole time, like, look at the image, because sometimes I forget to look at the image, but, like, looking at the box image did not help for that section. It just didn't. Like, it just didn't. Those dark areas were horrible. Like, oh, man. I'm, like, so exhausted. But that's it for today. Like, I'm almost tempted to take this on to another day and do another puzzle, but I want to move on to like another puzzle, not speed puzzling. But I want to get better, but at the same time, like, I don't know. This might just be my average speed and I'm just going to have to accept it at this point. I don't know. But what I will say is I'm proud of myself for not giving up towards the end because I did want to turn the timer off and give up, but I didn't. And I am going to enter the score just to see where I land because I'm pretty sure like I'm not the only person who thought this was like a super difficult image. If the whole puzzle was gradient sky like that, I feel like the rocks. I'm sorry. I know I'm complaining about the rocks, but that dark area killed me. But I think I'm going to keep practicing before I film my next speed puzzling video. But I do want to review. I have a bunch of more. I have new brands coming that I need to review. I'm going to do next White Mountain. So I'll be reviewing that brand. And then I have a collaboration coming up soon. So I'll keep you guys on the loop. But let's enter my score on myspeedpuzzling.com and see where that took me. Okay, apparently everybody did this puzzle. So I ranked at 286th place out of 291. So that's not, I mean, it's bad for a speed puzzler, but for me who is like kind of new to this, I'm behind one person by like seconds. So the person in front of me got 2 hours, 15 minutes flat even. And I got 2 hours, 14 minutes, 21 seconds. The person before me got 2 hours, 11 seconds. Alright guys, that is it for today's video. And that is it with speed puzzling for a little bit. I'm going to get into my next brand review, and I know I said I'm not going to do another puzzle haul. However, I went ahead and bought a bunch of puzzles from this year's USA Jigsaw National competition. So I was waiting at Ravensburger.com. I kept hitting refresh on the 7th. And as soon as they dropped, I picked out the ones I liked out of the bunch and got. So I can't wait to share that with you guys. And of course, I already have a bunch of other puzzles that people bought me and that I saw online and bought. I can't help myself, honestly. So it is what it is. You guys are going to get a puzzle house sometime this month in April. So my next puzzle I'm going to be reviewing is a White Mountain puzzle, and to me by his parents back in September. And I absolutely love it. It's called The Puzzle Store. Sorry I said it like that. I was about to say shop. But I said puzzle store. The Puzzle Store, and it's by White Mountain, and I really want to do a review on this brand because I actually really like this brand. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you made it this far, please subscribe to my channel and drop a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you did any of these images. If you're a speed puzzler, if you're not a speed puzzler and you've done them casually, let me know in the comments too. And do you time yourself when you're casually puzzling? I don't. I just don't feel the need to since I'm not speed puzzling. But if you want to keep track of how long puzzles take, is that something you guys do? Let me know in the comments. But it is now 8 p.m. while I'm filming this, and I am going to get ready to end my day. I hope you all have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.